Okay, already we have discussed about the Himalayan rivers. We have read the features about the three important Himalayan rivers, that is the Ganga, Brahmaputra and Indus. Today we will discuss about the peninsular rivers. Already we know the meaning of the peninsular rivers. The peninsular rivers are those rivers which flows through the peninsular India. As you can see in this image, Narmada, Tapti, Krishna, Godavari, Kaveri, Mahanadi, these all are the examples of the peninsular rivers, because you can see these rivers are flowing from the peninsular region of India only. Basically, these rivers are formed from Western Ghats of India, and they runs from north to south close to the western coast also. But some of the rivers form from central highlands also. These rivers are getting water from the rainfall only. They don't have any connection with that glaciers like the Himalayan rivers having. So this rivers doesn't have the water throughout the year. That's why they called the non-perennial rivers. So the peninsular rivers are only the non-perennial rivers. Now the examples, Narmada, Tapi and all. Why they are non-perennial rivers? Because their source of the water is the rainfall only. So in the summer season or in the winter, it could be possible the rivers or the parts of the river became dry. Now in case of the peninsular rivers are further divided into two parts. One is the east flowing peninsular rivers and another one is the west flowing peninsular rivers. You can see this all, the red color one all are the peninsular rivers. Mahanadi, then Godavari, Krishna, then here it is Kaveri, then Tungabhadra, like Narmada and Tapi. But we have divided this peninsular rivers into two parts. One is the east flowing river and another one is the west flowing river. Now let's see what is this east flowing river and west flowing river. You see this all the rivers which marked with these red colors. This all rivers starts from the Western Ghats. This side we have Western Ghat. We know already. So this river start from the Western Ghat or the Central Highland, and you can see they flow towards the Bay of Bengal. So this is the eastern side of the India. We all know that. So these rivers are called as a east flowing rivers. So the rivers which are flow towards the eastern coast of India, or the rivers which drain its water in the Bay of Bengal by flowing from the eastern coast, that is called the east flowing rivers. And on the other hand, you can see that this blue color, the Narmada, the Tapi, the Mahi, the Sabarmati, this all rivers are started from central Himalaya, basically these two, and they are flowing towards the western coast of India, and they discharge its water in the Arabian Sea. So these rivers are called west flowing river. So basically the peninsular rivers are those rivers which flow from the peninsular region, as well as these rivers are the non-perennial. These rivers doesn't have the water throughout the year. Now these peninsular rivers can be divided into two parts. In the eastern side, you can see this is the east flowing rivers, and as well as in the western side, this is the west flowing river. Now the example of the west flowing river is the Narmada and Tapi, and rest of all the rivers like Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, these all the rivers are flow towards the east. These all rivers are called east flowing rivers. Now in case of the peninsular rivers, you can see these peninsular rivers are small in size in comparison to the Himalayan river. As well as you can see their number of the tributaries and all also very less. Today we will discuss the important river, that is the Narmada and Tapi river. These two rivers are the west flowing rivers of India. Now in case of the Narmada river, as you can see in this map, this is the place of the Narmada river, almost middle of the India it is flowing. The Narmada river rises from a place that is the Amarkantak hills in Madhya Pradesh. So the Narmada river starts from the Amarkantak hill in Madhya Pradesh. See here, this is the point of the Amarkantak hill, and the place is the Madhya Pradesh. It flows towards the, now you can see over here, this is the flow of the Narmada river. Now you can see that Narmada river starts from Amarkantak hills. Now where is this Amarkantak hills? This Amarkantak hills are located in Madhya Pradesh. So the Amarkantak hill is located in Madhya Pradesh, and now you can see the river is flowing towards the west. And one surprising thing is there in case of the Narmada and Tapi. You can see all the rivers of this peninsular plateau, the rivers are flowing in west to east. Almost all the rivers of the peninsular plateaus are flowing from west to east. See this one, all the rivers are flowing from west to the east direction. Only Narmada, Tapi, Mahi, Sabarmati, these all are the rivers. Basically Narmada and Tapi only, they are flowing towards the east and west. These rivers are, we are saying that these rivers are the exceptional rivers of India. Why these all are the exceptional rivers of India? Because they are flowing from a rift valley. Here the meaning of the rift valley is they are flowing from a valley area, in between two rivers, like a down place is there, from in between two mountain or down places there, from there they all are flowing. Basically when we read about in the second chapter about the peninsular plateau, maybe you all have noticed that the peninsular plateau, the flow of the land is west to east. Yes or no? The flow of the land is west to east. But in case of the river, so all the rivers should flow from west to east. But then why the Narmada and Tapi is flowing in opposite direction? Because they are flowing from a rift valley. Now what is this rift valley? The rift valley is a low-ward region, or it is a low land region formed by the tectonic activity of the earth. It is a low-lying region, or it is a low-land region formed by the interactions of earth's tectonic plates. Rift Valley is a lowland region which forms after the tectonic activity or the plate movement. Maybe the plates are moved apart from each other, and in between that you will find that a down place is there or a low-lying place is there, that is called the Rift Valley. So the basic reasons why the Narmada and Tapi is flowing against of the slope of the land, because they are flowing from the Rift Valley region only. Now in case of this river, we can see so many beautiful places are there, like marble rocks near the Jabalpur. Narmada flows through a deep gorge, as well as you can see this is a picture of the Dhodar Falls. Dhodar Falls is an important feature in the Narmada river only, even it is a notable one also. Now there are so many tributaries of the Narmada river, but Narmada river is very short. Like the tributaries of the river join the river at a right angle, and Narmada river, basically if you see this image, it flows to the set of the MP and as well as the Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh and the parts of the Gujarat. From there only the Narmada river is flowing. Now the next river that we are having, that is the Tapi river. Now let's see this Tapi river. Above of the down of the Narmada river only you are having the Tapi river. Now in case of the Tapi river, you can see that Tapi river also flows like Narmada river only towards the east to the west, and it flows almost parallel to the Narmada river, but by the image you can see that the size of the Tapi is smaller than Narmada. Now in case of the Tapi river rises from the Satpura range. In case of the Tapi river starts from the central India, and the river starts from the Satpura range only. Now in case of the Tapi river, Satpura range is located in the Betul districts of the Maharashtra. It flows through a rift valley, like I said about the Narmada river also, and it generally covers the part that is the Madhya Pradesh, the Gujarat and the Maharashtra. So these all are the states from where this Tapi river moves. Tapi river flows parallel to the Narmada river. It starts from the Satpura range, Betul districts of the Madhya Pradesh. It flows in a rift valley that is parallel to the Narmada river, but it is shorter in length than the Narmada, and Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat are the areas from where this Tapi river flows. Okay, so Tapi and Narmada is an exceptional river. What is the exception? They are flowing opposite of the direction of the slope of the land. They are flowing from east to west direction. And why? Because they are flowing from a rift valley. And what is this rift valley? This is a low-lying area or a lowered area that occurs due to the plate tectonic activity. Okay. Now see what's written in the book about the peninsular river. The main water divide in peninsular India is formed by the Western Ghat, which runs from the north to south close to the western coast. The most of the major river of the peninsulas are such as the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, flows eastward and drain into the Bay of Bengal, and the river makes the delta in their mouth. And there are numerous small streams which flow towards the west of the Western Ghat, like the Narmada and Tapi are the long rivers which flow west and make estuaries. And the drainage basin of the peninsular rivers are comparatively small. So here what is written here, we can see that the rivers are divided, the peninsular rivers are divided into two parts. One is the east flowing river, another one is the west flowing river. Example of the east flowing rivers are the Krishna, Kaveri, Godavari, and example of the west flowing rivers are the Narmada and Tapi. Then you can see over there in the east flowing rivers are making the deltas. You all already know the meaning of the deltas. But in case of the west flowing rivers, they are not making the delta, they are making the estuaries. Now what is this estuaries? When the river is going to, or the streams is going to mix with the ocean, at that place only a feature forms, and that is called the estuaries. That is not a new landmass. Generally, estuary is an enclosed coastal body, we can say, where the brackish waters are present. And basically when the river is going to meet the sea, that condition only we can see this estuaries are located. So you can write this one also, like in case of the east flowing rivers, they are making the delta, but in case of the west flowing rivers, they are making the estuaries. Then I had discussed the topic, that is the Narmada river. It just goes through the Narmada river in the book also. Narmada river starts from the Amarkantak hills of Madhya Pradesh, and it flows towards the west in a rift valley. This is formed due to the faulting only. And Narmada creates many picturesque locations like Marble Rocks, the Dhauladhar Falls and all. And in case of the Narmada river, the more details about the Narmada river, the number of the tributaries, all the tributaries of the Narmada rivers are very short, and most of them joins at the right angle. And Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat are the basic places from where we can see the Narmada river flows. Now the second one is the Tapi river. Tapi river is a parallel river to the Narmada, but in size it is small. The Tapi rises in the Satpura range in the Betul districts of the Madhya Pradesh, and it also flows in a rift valley parallel to the Narmada, but it is much shorter in the length than the Narmada. The basin of the Tapi river covers some areas, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. The coastal plains of the Western and the Arabian seas are very narrow, hence the coastal rivers are the short. The west flowing rivers like the Sabarmati, Mahi, Brahmaputra and Periyar are there. Like we have already talked about the Narmada and Tapi, but without Narmada and Tapi, Sabarmati, Mahi, Brahmaputra or Bharatapuzha and Periyar, these all rivers are there, or these all rivers are known as west flowing river of our country or the peninsular India.